Welcome to 7 on the Line, where we ask your aviators 7 completely random and sometimes completely ridiculous questions so you can get to know them a little bit better. Today we have number 17, Kevin Goldberg. Welcome, Kevin.
Hey, Sonia. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great.
Good. We're excited to have you join us and just have a little bit of fun with you tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. So let's get right to it. So your first question is actually a would you rather question. So,
okay, cool. I'm familiar with these.
Would you rather have a permanently clogged nose or a piece of green food stuck in your teeth forever?
I think I'd have to go with permanently clogged nose. I've got like a really terrible sense of smell. Like honestly, one of the worst. You can ask any single one of my friends. But I've got just a really bad sense of smell. So, this honker's not doing much help for me anyway. So, I'd rather have that than have some spinach or anything else hanging out of my teeth. Yeah, no doubt.
You don't think that would affect your running?
No, I don't think so.
You just become a mouth breather?
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess maybe, but I don't know. I think maybe it would make more sense for me to have sparkly, shiny teeth so I could blind the people I'm playing against on an ultimate field, and then they can't see when I jump up and try and grab the disc. But maybe having an unclogged nose would be a better idea. But I think for the sake of this, I'd go with definitely the clogged nose.
Okay. I mean, I like your thinking on the blinding white teeth. Like, just have somebody on the sidelines shining a light right at your teeth. So it bounces.
Yeah, it's like Chip Skylar from Fairly Odd Parents back in the day. My shiny teeth, man.
Love it. I love it. That's great. Well, our next question is food related.
Okay.
So something in your teeth could be one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So, unlimited sushi or tacos for life?
Ooh, but that like totally depends. Because if you're anywhere like 100 miles away from the coast, you definitely don't want it to be sushi. Like if you're in the middle of Kansas, you don't want that to be sushi. But at the same time, if you're in Montana, are the tacos in Montana going to be any good? We're kind of spoiled here in LA with the tacos. But the sushi is also really good too. I don't know. If I had to say really good sushi versus really good tacos, I'd go with really good sushi. So I think unlimited sushi for the rest of my life would be better than tacos for sure. But I mean, you could ask any of my friends. Like, I've been known to put away tacos too. So.
See, that's an easy question for me. I don't like sushi. So
really?
100% be tacos for life.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I've been known to land at a Taco Bell and take a couple of those those 12 count boxes of tacos away from it, especially after a nice tournament or a good workout. But I definitely prefer sushi. I'm trying to think. I was at a tournament actually last summer before I moved out here to LA, and I was it was like it was right on the buffer zone of that like 100 miles from the coast, and we went to an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet, and we were all starving. This was after a good tournament in kind of like the grueling heat of Pennsylvania, and it was a good time. And having that risk factor when you go into it is definitely part of it. You definitely you don't want it to be 100% safe. You want to go in with a little bit of risk.
All right, so you're a risk taker. That's good to know. I love it. Oh, all right. Okay, so for our next question, which is a favorite of mine just because I'm a big Disney fan.
Okay.
Which Disney character do you see yourself as?
Ooh. My favorite Disney film is Ratatouille.
Okay.
And it's super personal to me, not only because of the story, but also because it takes place in France, and I actually spent time living abroad in France. The issue is that I'm definitely not like Remy, the character that Patton Oswalt voices, the rat in the film, because I'm terrible at cooking. I'm the worst when it comes to cooking. but the character who he uses to navigate the kitchen, the human who he sits on top of, I think his
Yeah.
name is Linguini, which is pretty funny. I'm definitely like him. He's kind of funky, kind of goofy looking, not super coordinated, but he's super ambitious and brave and is willing to try something that probably no like sane-minded individual would try. And so I definitely think, I definitely resonate with that. If not, definitely respect it. If not, try to embody that myself. Either that or Buzz Lightyear, because I mean, who doesn't want to be Buzz Lightyear?
Two totally different characters. Very different.
Yeah, but watch this. So I'll loop it back to the whole France thing. When I was living in France, I went to Euro Disney at some point, and you know how in Disney World here, in Disneyland here in California, or Disney World in Florida, they have the animatrons, like the gigantic, robotic characters that they're not like the characters that walk around the park, but they're like stationed at the rides, and they're these robots, and they'll tell you like weird facts or safety things about like you should wear like the safety harness or the belt, and like don't stick your hands outside the cart or whatever. So at Euro Disney, obviously they're doing it all in French, and so to hear Buzz Lightyear just ramble off a whole bunch of safety guidelines at you in French, it was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard.
That would be entertaining.
Yeah.
All right, I approve of both of your answers as a Disney fanatic myself.
Gotcha.
All right, we got another would you rather question
Cool.
for you. Would you rather live in a cave or a treehouse?
Oh, Treehouse, easily, easily. You're away from all the apex predators who are on the ground, and worst comes to worst, you make some friends with some monkeys or lemurs or birds that hang out in the tree. Cave, it's dark, it's damp, probably not good for like diseases or like infections or even just getting a good night's sleep. But we've all seen Jurassic Park. You definitely want to hang out in the trees.
Well, and I mean, I've seen some pretty stinking fancy tree houses.
Oh, for sure, for
Built.
sure.
You
Yeah.
could actually have a luxury tree house.
Oh, without a doubt. It's like what's Swiss Family Robinson? Swiss
Yeah.
Family Robinson, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they have that tree house where they've got like a refrigerator.
It's very realistic.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with you on treehouse. All right, our next one.
Hmm.
What mythical creature would you like to be?
Mythical creature. Hmm. Uh, let's see. You know, the uh, I think I don't know. I think being a centaur would be pretty sick because you get all the speed and the virtues of being, having four legs and gigantic, tall, horse-looking thing. But you also still get to, like play video games with your hands or do other things that humans might be otherwise able to do. I mean, aside from that, I think being a Wookiee, from Star Wars would be pretty sick. Nobody looks at a Wookiee and says that guy's not like intimidating. So that'd be pretty cool. And I imagine, Chewbacca would tear it up on the Ultimate Field.
I I just I never would have thought of a Wookiee as a mythical creature.
Yeah, it's definitely a loose interpretation. It's
No,
definitely loose, but you know
yeah,
what? It's my answer to the question, so I get to bend the rules how I want to.
I'm 100% like, yeah, no, it never would have occurred to me to think of a Wookiee, but
Yeah.
absolutely. Like,
Maybe it's just coming from deep seated desire of me to become Chewbacca. That might what it be.
I mean, that could have been, well, I guess that's what Disney character do you want to be, not what Disney character are you? Since
Mm,
Star Wars is now Disney.
right, exactly. I
So,
mean, everything's Disney now. Yeah.
right? Exactly. Um, no, I'm on board with that. I
Yeah.
can get down with that. I dig it. All right, next question is another would you rather.
Cool.
Would you rather give up bathing for a month or internet for a month?
Um, That's a hard one. It is a hard one because bathing is a necessity, but so is internet. um, I think I could do without, the simple, the basic aspects of internet, stuff like, watching Netflix or being able to like Google map some, directions to go somewhere or whatever. And I definitely smell a lot better if I took showers. But me being me, I think I'd go without bathing for 30 days because the internet's just too dang important. I'm watching like 6 different TV series right now. If I were to cut that off right now and pick it up 30 days from now, I'd be lost, in six different forms. And so, I definitely need internet for that. Also, like, you know, you can't squeeze out victories on Fortnite without internet. So, and one of the nice things about this pandemic, I let me rephrase that. One of the advantages of being sheltered in place is that you don't have to, experience the outside world or go around people too often, aside from picking up groceries. And so, I think I could go 30 days without doing that. I wouldn't want to force myself, unshowered, unbathed onto other people, but I could definitely, go 30 days without going to the Ralphs or the Vons down the street.
I mean, if you're living in a tree house,
Yeah, exactly. Like, when it rains, it doesn't rain that much here in LA, but when it does rain, I'll just go outside and just, open up my arms.
there you go. Oh my gosh, right in the pits, right there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
You still have deodorant. I would,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For
Or
sure.
like
The issue really is with my hair. With my hair as long as it is, if I don't take a shower, it just, it's just super unhealthy. It's not a good look. I start to get this kind of like half Seth Rogen, half Albert Einstein look going on, and it's not great. So
I love it.
yeah.
Hey, no bathing. Awesome choice. All right, so we have reached your final question.
Cool.
This is, I think, going to be an easy one for you. I
All
hope.
right.
What TV show have you seen every episode of?
Oof. I mean, there's so many though.
Or TV shows?
Okay, well, I've seen everything of How I Met Your Mother, everything of The Office. I watched The West Wing top to bottom. Um, what else? I mean, geez, I've seen Friends top to bottom. I've seen New Girl top to bottom. I mean, basically, if it's like a good quality network TV show and it was on Netflix at some point, I've seen it top to bottom. Out of all those, I think my favorite is probably it's definitely How I Met Your Mother. A lot of people prefer The Office to it, and I grew up in New Jersey, and so like Scranton, Pennsylvania was honestly not that far away. And so like that definitely resonated with a lot of the people that I grew up with and a lot of the people I spent time with. Um, but I think as far as like storylines and kind of interesting plots, I think How I Met Your Mother is a little bit more, it's a little bit more zany or a little bit more exciting. And, I think it takes itself a little bit more seriously, especially towards the last season.
Yeah.
The last season, the way it ended, was not a huge fan. Um, but it was good. And it's also like those characters in the show, they're about, late 20, 30-year-old people trying to like find their ways in life. And, that definitely makes sense pretty much to anybody who's in their 20s. And so, I think The Office definitely offers something similar to that. But, How I Met Your Mother was definitely my favorite of the two. So,
I mean, plus you got Marshall and Lily.
right, exactly.
I love me some Allison Hannigan. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
And you cannot compete with NPH. Who does not love him?
Yeah. I mean, looking back on the show, especially kind of under the context of, the current, the current social movements and a lot of the conversations that are happening right now, you look back on it, and it's, there's not a lot of diversity in the show. There's not a lot of, opinions or perspectives kind of represented, especially, within the characters themselves or within the plot lines. I think it definitely resonated specifically with, you know, upper middle class, well educated white young adults. And that's definitely something I fit into. And understanding that that show's not going to speak to everybody. At the same time, you have to understand that, as a network show, it takes up space in the conversation that, it doesn't provide the opportunity for conversation for, uh, different perspectives or different, backgrounds. And
Yep.
so, looking forward to some of the new shows that are out right now. Um, it'll be interesting to see kind of how that dynamic shifts, especially as kind of the opinion in Hollywood, within the film and entertainment industry, how those kind of dynamics shift and how that's going to mark itself in TV production after production starts when this pandemic is over. So it'll be really interesting. That's a super long-winded answer to say How I Met Your Mother is my favorite.
No, it's everything you said is absolutely true. 100%. Well, Kevin, you made it through.
Yeah.
Finished your first interview. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us.
Yes, and thanks so much for asking me these questions. Really interested to see what everybody else had to say, and looking forward to see what this all looks like.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Have a great week.
All right, thanks. Talk to you later.